the USFL just made a big-time announcement concerning their head coaching vacancies. They just hired 4 of their first 8 head coaches for their franchises. And honestly, we got some big names here. Let me just run through the names real quick. So, coaching the Philadelphia Stars will be Bart Andres, former CFL and NFL Europe coach. We also have Mike Riley coaching the New Jersey Devils. He's someone you might remember from the NFL. I believe he coached the San Diego Chargers a while back. You also got Todd Haley, former coach of the Chiefs, former offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers until that fizzled out. And he also, I believe, was a coordinator with the Cleveland Browns. And one of the bigger names here, Kevin Sumlin, the former Texas A&M coach. He coached Houston, Texas A&M, Arizona. This is a guy who's been around college. He's been around some successful programs as well. And it's big time because we're 100 days out now, or less than, I think, 100 days out now from the official kickoff of the USFL season on April 16th, which means we were wondering to see, we were trying to see who some of the players might be, who some of the coaches might be, and we just found out 4. The league is going to announce 4 more pretty soon here, so we'll stick with that and announce that as soon as that comes through. But the reason this is such a huge deal is you're getting some names like Todd Haley, who proved his coaching ability in the NFL. Say what you want about the way he fizzled out in Cleveland, especially, or whatever, but this is a guy who in Kansas, as a head coach of Kansas City in 2010, won 10 games. They went 10-6. They went to the wild card game. They went to the playoffs. And yeah, he went 5-8 the next year, fizzled out, but it's a guy who's proven to be able to stay in the NFL. He's a guy who's also proven to have success in the NFL. He's coached people like Big Ben Roethlisberger. He's coached people, like Baker Mayfield, even though, again, that didn't work out. So, there's a bit of, I think that might be one of the more controversial ones because he's so well known, but he's also known to have a good trajectory to begin with. And then, like, at the end, after a while, it all starts to unravel. Do I think it's going to be better that he's in the USFL, which is a spring league that has less pressure on it than the NFL would, and the talent level is different. It's not. I hate saying it's bad or worse. I mean, it is obviously not as good, but it's different because you're not playing with NFL level players, but you are playing with pro athletes. So I want to make that distinction. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does. The one I'm most interested to see is Kevin Sumlin. This is a guy who I believe he's 30 games above 500 as a college football coach. He's been to a bunch of bowl games throughout his career, had success almost everywhere he's went, outside of Arizona, obviously. But his time in Houston was very well. He went 12-1 and in 2011 with Case Keenum breaking every single record in the book. And that's a team that was snubbed, I think, from a potential BCS title game, a BCS bowl game at least, in 2011. And then what happens? He ends up taking the job at Texas A&M, and he only goes on to coach people like Johnny Manziel and others, and to success. And they went to a bowl game, I believe, for his first 5 years in the league in A&M, and then he ended up leaving A&M. But Kevin Sumlin's a guy who generally is noted as a successful coach. He is someone who is respected by his players. He has a really good mind for offense, and I think this level of coaching is going to do him wonders because it's a step above college and a step below the NFL. And I think for someone like Kevin Sumlin, who has been out of coaching for about a year and a half, 2 years now, this could be a stepping stone potentially for him to an NFL gig potentially. So, and again, the USFL right now, the way it's structured, seems to have at least some, or it's going to look like it has some staying power. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Next coach I want to talk about is Mike Riley. You guys might not know Mike Riley as much. Those of you in San Diego will probably remember him as the mediocre coach who led you to a 1-15 season in like 2001, I believe. But he's been around everywhere. He's coaching the CFL, coaching college, coaching the NFL. And one thing you can say about him is he's experienced. He's experienced. He's going to be coaching the New Jersey Generals. So that's a team that a lot of people remember from the old USFL. The New Jersey Generals are kind of like that. It's the name, the Generals, that rolls off the tongue. So Going to be interesting to see what happens there. The last time he coached anywhere was the Seattle Dragons. I think he was the offensive coordinator for them in the XFL. Big shout out to the XFL. But so it's going to be interesting to see what he does. And the one that people really don't know, I think, the most about, or generally people don't know the most about, is Bart Andres. Again, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name right. But, he's someone, he's been around like a lot of places, but they're not really notable places. Like the CFL, obviously, probably the most notable place he's been. He was head coach of the Toronto Argonauts, and then he's bounced around to leagues like the UFL. He was an NFL Europe coach. I believe he won the World Championship for the NFL Europe, which is great. But it's a different animal here, and this is another one. We'll see how it does, but exciting news as we got some hires. We're getting some news, and I'm sure as we get closer to kickoff for the season, it's only going to get bigger and better, or you would hope it will, but we'll stick with it. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.